Colin had been dreaming of the perfect moment to express his feelings for his girlfriend, Sarah, for weeks. After an inspiring evening walk, he finally mustered the courage to put pen to paper, crafting the most romantic and heartfelt love letter he had ever written. The words flowed effortlessly, as if his love for Sarah had transformed him into a modern-day Shakespeare. The next morning, he headed to the office, love letter in hand, with the intention of mailing it during his lunch break. As the workday progressed, Colin's thoughts were consumed by the letter and the excitement of finally sharing his deepest emotions with Sarah. During a brief lull in his hectic day, Colin decided to send a quick email to his boss, Mr. Richardson, to update him on a project's progress. Absent-mindedly, he grabbed the love letter from his bag, mistaking it for the printed report he had prepared earlier. Without a second thought, Colin slipped the love letter into an envelope and wrote Mr. Richardson's name on the front, leaving it on his boss's desk as he left for lunch. It wasn't until he returned to his workstation that he noticed the error. The printed report was still in his bag, while the love letter was now in the hands of his boss. Panic set in as Colin's face flushed with embarrassment. He knew he had to do something to rectify the situation, but the thought of explaining his mistake to Mr. Richardson was mortifying. With no other choice, Colin took a deep breath and knocked on his boss's office door. "Come in," Mr. Richardson said, eyeing the letter with a puzzled expression. Colin entered and cleared his throat, his face reddening as he began to stammer an explanation. "Mr. Richardson, I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake. I accidentally left a personal letter on your desk instead of a project update," Colin said, barely able to meet his boss's gaze. Mr. Richardson's eyebrows shot up in surprise as he unfolded the letter and began to read. Colin watched in horror as his boss's eyes widened with each line, a bemused grin slowly appearing on his face. "Well, Colin, I must say, this is quite the heartfelt confession," he said, chuckling. Colin felt the heat in his cheeks intensify as he hurriedly explained, "It was meant for my girlfriend, Sarah. I mixed it up with the project report. I am so sorry for the confusion, sir." To his relief, Mr. Richardson let out a hearty laugh, his eyes twinkling with amusement. "Don't worry, Colin. Accidents happen. I'm flattered, but I think your lovely sentiments would be better appreciated by your girlfriend." Grateful for his boss's understanding, Colin exchanged the love letter for the intended project report, his face still burning with embarrassment. As he left the office, he couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of the situation. From that day on, Colin took extra care to double-check every document he delivered. The love letter eventually found its way to Sarah, who was deeply touched by his heartfelt words. And as for Mr. Richardson, he would occasionally tease Colin about the incident, much to his chagrin. Though it had been a mortifying experience, the love letter mishap became a story Colin would never forget. A reminder of the power of love and the importance of always checking the recipient.